All right, well, welcome to the Cooking Corner. We're joined again today by Natalie Mikles of the Made in Oklahoma Coalition, and she's doing twice-baked sweet potatoes. Natalie, this sounds amazing. I was just saying Friendsgiving coming up.
And perfect for Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving, or really any time. I mean, this is something you could even make on a weeknight. You don't have to wait for a special occasion.
I love it.
Sweet potatoes are, so good for you, really nutrient dense. And so I'll just kind of take you through how to do it. These are Triple S sweet potatoes, which are made in Oklahoma, which is great. Using local products is always good. I know we're always kind of looking for them.
Of course.
Even with our produce, which is great. So these are really readily available this time of year. You can find them wherever you grocery shop. I'm just going to stab this potato so we can let this steam out.
Let a little anger out, right?
Exactly.
This is your chance.
It is. 400 degrees for, 50 minutes to an hour, depending on how big your sweet potato is. And you'll let those just cook all the way, and you'll see they'll start to look like kind of shriveled and nicely cooked when they're ready.
For sure.
Yes, so once they're ready, then we're going to go ahead and just slice this potato in half. Now, just like you're making twice-baked potatoes, we're going to do the same thing with our sweet potatoes, except the filling is going to be nice and sweet, just like you would for a Thanksgiving side dish.
Of course.
So here's our filling. We're just going to scoop that out, and I've already scooped some potatoes here, and we'll put that right in. I also have some butter. I'm using Highland butter, which is another Made in Oklahoma product. And you want to reserve this so that you don't want your potato to fall apart.
Right.
Yes.
You got to have a little bit left in here.
Yes, you need that because we're going to stuff these potatoes. So here we are. We'll just pull that filling out.
Oh my gosh.
And you have 3 tablespoons of butter already there. And then we're going to add all the good stuff. So a little salt. Even though this is a sweet dish, you do need the salt with a sweet potato.
Absolutely.
That's about a teaspoon of salt. A half a teaspoon of cinnamon. 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, and we'll give that a little bit of a whisk. At home, I would use an electric mixer because you really want this really nicely blended.
Definitely.
A whisk.
Will this work if you don't have an electric mixer?
Absolutely. Yes,
okay.
You just have to get in there and
you got to put some work into it.
You
gotta
do.
Commit.
But it works just fine. Yes. I'm using Highland sour cream also, and this is kind of a judgment call, half a cup to a cup, depending on how much filling you get out. Really depends on the size of your sweet potatoes. And you can see when you're shopping that the sweet potato size can really differ. There are small ones and really, really large ones. So there's our filling mix. We're also going to add a little bit of syrup, and I love using Griffin's, and this is a really perfect one for this. It's butter pecan, which is a nice syrup, and you don't want a lot. You don't want it overly sweet, but
just enough to kind of taste it a little bit in the background.
Absolutely.
Okay, love that.
1 or 2 tablespoons is perfect. And then I'll show you how to fill these sweet potatoes. So you put them in a baking dish, and then we're going to just scoop the filling into each potato, just like this.
This is such a good idea. I didn't even think about this.
It's just like the idea of, if you're making a sweet potato casserole, some people call it sweet potato souffle. It's that same idea, but instead of putting it into a baking dish, we're just putting them right into the sweet potatoes. So
it's simple, but it makes sense.
Yes, yes, and it's a pretty presentation on Thanksgiving, having these, and then you can double this recipe, set them all out so everyone can get their own. Now here's the other fun part. You can do the toppings however you like. So marshmallow topping, which I know some people have to have, it's their tradition. Other people like pecans. I'm using Miller pecans, which are made in Oklahoma. And then we'll put those in the oven and bake for, about 10-15 minutes, 350 degrees. That's it.
That is so cool, Natalie. Well, I can't wait. You guys can look up this recipe on newson6.com. Looks really good, so be sure to go check it out. We'll see you guys right after this break.